And welcome back to the Catastrophe versus XRB doubleheader in the Zelda 1 Randomizer 2020 Random Percent Tournament. I am once again Alsoa, and for those of you that are just joining us and missed Game 1, Game 1 was a case of XRB was able to find his required items earlier than Kata, but had some issues finding a couple of levels, and as a result, that led to Kata taking the win in Game 1 through getting into level 9 a whole lot earlier and doing a lot of the exploration of that. Now, as I had mentioned at the end of the last game, the runner that loses in any of these series, if it is a non-elimination loss, like this case, they will have the option to add a loser's remorse flag, which will take any of the randomized options and they can turn it 100% on or 100% off. In this case, XRB has decided to turn off the hidden dungeon numbers. So whenever you walk into a dungeon, you will always know automatically what level it is. Every other flag has remained the same, so there will be no changes to things such as the 50-50 of silvers and 9, the 50-50 Ganon required. All those are going to stay the same. It's just we're going to know exactly what dungeons we're in whenever we go in them. Both runners have whatchamacallit, gotten themselves prepped. They've gotten their drinks, went to the bathroom, whatever they needed to do, and they are ready to go into Game 2, which we should be starting in a couple of seconds here, or rather closer probably to like 30 seconds. They might have gotten some candy. I don't know. What we do know is that if this race is anything like the last one, it will be a good one. So once again, the runners are probably going to start by checking their pause screen to see what items they have and what Triforces they start with. They're going to start by the Arbos, and ooh, that is a sword. Not quite sure which sword that is. They start with a sword and the bow, as well as the level 7 Triforce. We're getting an indication in chat, that is a magical sword. So, sword upgrades are now completely irrelevant. As the runners are starting with a magical sword, we definitely do not have 0 HP enemies, but yeah, that is Triforce 7 that the runner started with. So they have 2/3 of everything they need to beat Ganon. And because of the 50-50 chance that silvers are in 9, they theoretically don't have to pick up another item in the seed. Also, we have a pure first quest overworld and no extra candles. Which means the runners have 2 options to get a candle in the seed. They can buy one, or they could get lucky and find their way to getting the red candle. As the red candle is a permanent candle that burns bushes. And immediately find level 9. Okay, we have a little bit of a bug on XRB's side, and that the Armos was not going to move. I'm going to assume he goes back to that. XRB is now also finding level 9. Yeah, so that Arbos normally moves, and I don't think there was anything important down there. We have a heart on the coast, which means absolutely nothing. And XRB does get his bombs. Catastrophe already got theirs. So now that we've seen some stuff, we know it's a first quest overworld. We know that the money is going to be better than... We know that there's going to be 3 large secrets, and looks like the secrets and prices are going to be vanilla. There is that 50% chance in every seed that the items will not... So you find level 4 on Catastrophe side. We don't quite know what quest 4 this is. This could be second quest or shapes. This cannot be first quest 4. And level 7 found on XRB's side. This will not be a second quest 7. This could be a 1Q7, or this could be a shape 7. This 4, I can't tell if this is a 2Q4 or not. So the thing with level 4 is that if it's second quest front half, every dungeon of second quest front half is level 4 until you get maps and such. Although in this case, because we know the dungeon numbers, we're gonna know it's level 4. Yeah, this is 2Q4. So we have 2Q front half. Find the transport stair in level 4. We still don't know quite yet if this is first quest or shape 7. XRB has left level 7. The doggo practicing his water walking multiple times, and then eats the bomb. So it's important that Catastrophe knows that half of the dungeons are going to be, the front half of the dungeons are going to be second quest, and we have shuffled any roads. Shuffled any roads means that we're looking at the power bracelet spots actually being something different, which they could be levels. And as our tracker Balletta in chat is pointing out, the meat very well could be required for level 3 and level 7 in this seed, so meat could be a better purchase than not. With Catastrophe already up to 200 something rupees and red candle in level 4, so there will definitely be shuffle dungeon items. Although that is his first candle. So getting your first candle as a red candle is going to save him 60 rupees. So you may consider a blue ring purchase. Again, XRB picks up his power bracelet from the Armos. Not really surprised that that's there. I wonder if Catastrophe sees this, assumes it's vanilla any roads, and then doesn't. Ooh, 2 out of the 4 any roads are vanilla. That's actually very interesting. So if Catastrophe goes to that any road first and sees the first 2 are vanilla, he might assume the other 2 are vanilla until he checks those caves. XRB is going to go to the vanilla wood sword cave and find a wood sword that he is promptly going to ignore as he has magical sword. Now, just because they have a magical sword does not mean that this is a bomb upgradeless seed. The bomb upgrades and the starting items are completely independent of each other. So if the seed rolled bomb upgrades, well, they get their cake. They can have their cake and eat it too. Catastrophe picks up a key in level 4 as XRB takes a death on the overworld, but it is not too far from start, I don't think, so he should be okay there. He's now going to do some of these coast bomb spots while he gets his 100 secret. There's the famous ladder. Catastrophe may also consider a bomb upgrade purchase, because there will be a bomb upgrade here in 4 somewhere. Now, until we see the candle spots, we don't know how valuable that red candle is going to be for Cat just yet. Gonna finish Manhandler off with the sword. Maybe, nope, takes a death in the Manhandler room. Not what you want to see. XRB does have to be a little bit careful here. He will overcap on money if he picks up this 100 secret. This would be a tough call to make if you pick up this. If you pick up secrets at this point, is a tough call to make because of the overcap potential. This is oh, we have shuffled drop groups again. It's the blue tech types for dropping bombs. And look at that, we have bomb upgrades. Ooh, it's a 4-heart white sword bomb upgrade. xRB now has a potential max of 10 bombs. So, considering that they start with Magic Sword, they are going to have their cake and eat it too. They will get the bomb upgrades and the Magical Sword. That's not a bad combination at all. Catastrophe still in this level 4, looking for this Triforce and presumably the second item. I have not seen them pick up a floor drop yet. xRB has now found his way into level 4. xRB does not yet know it is going to be second quest 4, although he will find out relatively quickly. He should know that it's not going to be first quest by sheer virtue of the way this layout is. He's going to opt not to... Oh, he's going to take the death on the Aquamentus. We'll probably just come back in. Catastrophe looking for doors. He's not checking the walls as much for a walkthrough. At least he didn't check that east wall very much. Ooh. And a rough Dark Nut fight. He's gonna send xRB back to start again. It looks like we have vanilla enemy HP, but it's kind of hard to tell because we started with Magic Sword and that does 4 damage as a base. So for all we know, they could have rolled +/-2 when they're still within their Magical Sword hitbox or hit range. xRB does take out the Aquamentus, and he now knows for certain it's either going to be Shapes or it's going to be second quest. And no direct access to the Triforce from that way. He should, and now he'll know that it is second quest. Which these are the vanilla enemies for second quest 4, so we may not have enemy shuffle, in which case we will see Wish Ropes at 9 again. Cat has found their way to the Triforce, which is not in its vanilla room. So once again, we have shuffled dungeon drops, which means the runners, if Heart Shuffle is on again, the runners will have to just dig every single room looking for that floor drop. I don't believe we saw the second stair item in level 4 either, although there may have been a key block. And given it's second quest 1 through 6, the level you want to find to get keys is actually going to be level 2. And the reason is level 2 in second quest has 6 keys in it. Also, 2 notes that because we have not, I did not catch where they started in level 9 to know if we have the second quest back half. If they started in the center of level 9, then we have a full second quest dungeon seed. If they started off to the right, okay, we're hearing from our tracker Boletta that it was the center, that it was the right side of the bottom of 9, which means it will be either first quest or Shapes for the back half. So some things that the runners are probably going to want to see, but also hate to see. Red Ring, outside of 9, is probably the biggest one. The reason that the Red Ring outside of 9 is weird is, yes, it gives you the Red Ring. You have quadruple defense from that point forward. You're in great shape. Awesome. All's good. Fantastic. Have a good day. Silvers can now be outside of 9. As Catastrophe picks up the letter, xRB clears out that 5 rupee room, decides not to pick up the rupee. The famous ladder blocked key. xRB has not picked up the red candle yet. Catastrophe has gone to the vanilla 5 location, only to be told, I need money. So the door repair amount is shuffled with the secret amount. So if the secrets are vanilla, the door repair will be the vanilla 20. Hopefully XRB sees his red candle in here. It's not an extremely crucial item. Like, the red candle is not an item that you're gonna lose sleep if you don't find. It would be nice to have because he currently doesn't have a candle, but because you can just buy a blue candle literally whenever, as soon as you find a shop, you don't need the red candle strictly. And it's not one of those items that's like, oh, I have to have it. XRB will see where the Triforce room is and find that, nope, you gotta spend the key to get to it. Catastrophe has gone back to Overworld Clearing, finds an arrow shop, opts not to purchase. I'm guessing he's saving up for a blue ring again. Maybe wanting to hold on to his money for a candle, but I think he's got blue ring on the mind. It did help him out a good bit last seed, and if he can find that blue ring shop early, then that is good for him. However, he does run the risk of losing a bunch of that money to door repairs like this. XRB using his bomb first. He might be unsure if this is second quest 4 or unsure of the shape of second quest 4 because second quest is not something that is the most well played compared to first. Because second quest is mean. Second quest is mean. XRB has picked up his Triforce. We'll see if he decides to go back in. I don't think it's a bad play either way. Because 4 has 2 to 3 items, I don't think it's a bad play to go back in. But on the other side of that coin, if he's in a situation of, well, it's a relatively large dungeon that I'm not 100% comfortable with the shape of, I can see choosing to skip it and go dig your shorter dungeons first. Catastrophe has now found his any roads. XRB is about to be capped on money. Okay, near capped. Now let's see what he decides to do from here. Looks like he's going to finish off his northeast. Catastrophe will get their power bracelet, which we now know leads to nothing. And a candle shop has been found. Catastrophe does not need to buy the candle. XRB probably will buy that candle at this point. Oh, Catastrophe loses the bomb, bombing a spot that does not open in first quest, and takes a death on top of that. And that's why Gurias are the worst enemy of the game. They're good. They're really good at sniping. XRB is trying to get the screen scroll set up. He's just a couple pixels off. He's a little bit too far. That's too close. Catastrophe has gone back to the forest. I don't recall if he saw anything else here besides level 4. He might go bomb the south coast now. And XRB has decided it is not worth his time to keep going for the screen wrap. He is just going to walk it the normal way. He is going to check the power bracelet spot. He may not be fully aware that it is full first quest overworld, and Catastrophe is down level 7. See if he decides to dig it. This could be a first quest 7. Based on the current layout so far. XRB finds a door repair for going up the mountain. Catastrophe is going to try to get some bombs off of the Troll Dongo. Does succeed. And another leave life or money room. Catastrophe near capped on money. He's going to have no issues whatsoever with that. Ooh, but he's ladder blocked from going any further north. So now he's going to have to go to the east. As XRB opts to skip the secret. Not a bad play given he's near capped on money. He doesn't want to waste that 100 secret. Catastrophe trying to burn the wall doesn't open. Bombing it is more effective. And XRB is checking these second quest spots. I don't think he is aware that it's only going to be the first quest spots, or he was trying to force a bomb. One of the two. Bomb dropping off of Wall Masters again. And hints are going to be nothing, as we've already seen that they're just going to be vanilla anyway. I'm starting to become more and more convinced this is first quest back half. So one of the tricky things about second quest front, first quest back is that combination is very much has the potential to be key start, because level 7 and 9 have a lot of locked doors, and there are not very many keys in the second quest 1 through 6. I mean, there's not very many keys in second quest in general, but especially not in the 1 through 6. So Catastrophe is up to 5 keys now, which is good, but he's going to need to manage his keys very well in order to continue on, and I think he's ladder blocked out of level 7. XRB takes another death. And that may be the end of Catastrophe's run in 7, as he looks like he's ladder blocked. No candle on XRB's side. I believe I don't know if he's seen the shop over by the grave. He definitely did not pick up the red candle. But all these spots where he's going to have to come back to the bird, which is just going to increase his backtracking time in the scene. XRB looks to be going towards start. You may find a candle shop over here. There is guaranteed to be at least one candle shop available that requires nothing. I mean, it could be bomb blocked, or it could just be an open cave. There is guaranteed to be at least one candle shop that does not require a candle or candle blocked item to get to. Catastrophe making the gamble to take that secret. It's only a 10, so he's not going to waste any of it, but that was a bit of a gamble, as XRB finds the blue ring shop. He is close to the requisite amount of money to buy that, and he may be thinking about it. Ooh, and he does find level 1. This is a good level to find. Even though it is a 2Q1, it is still a good level to find, because it is short and it has a 4 drop. So I didn't see what the red bubble curse was necessarily. We'll see it in a second here. He might not have actually taken a hit from the red bubble. Looks like he did not. He took a hit from Fireball instead, which actually was probably better, all things considered. Even though it led to a death, he did not get cursed. Ooh, and Ladenwell is everyone's favorite enemy. Now we're going to get to see the boss HP a little bit. I'm guessing the boss HP is normal, but Landmillers are not an easy enemy to fight. And Catastrophe on 230 rupees finds the last large secret. He's only going to get 20 of those rupees. Tough break. And apparently level 1 is level BMOs. Because every row in level 1 so far has had 4 BMO statues. The Triforce Room has the book. XRB is going to pick the book up, and it is an atlas. That's actually a good thing. If you're not very familiar with the dungeon shapes for first quest, if you're not familiar with the vanilla dungeon shapes in general, either through lack of experience or just haven't seen them in a while, it can be helpful on that front. And furthermore, with book being an atlas, he won't have to worry about, okay, well, I need to go find a map to know what walls I can bomb. He'll know what walls he can bomb right off the gate. As Catastrophe finds level 1, we'll see if he opts or elects to pick up the book. XRB will spend a key here, but he can get that key back by going south in this room. Ooh, but takes a death to the Wizrobes. The orange Wizrobes on this palette are kind of annoying to be. The orange Wizrobes are kind of annoying to begin with because sometimes they just like to appear out of nowhere. And then on top of that, you have the Wizrobes on this color palette, which makes them invisible, almost. And both runners picking up the book. Really? I kind of like it here. You don't have the wand. You don't know when you're going to get the wand. For all you know, the wand is going to be deep buried in 7, and you're never going to see it. Plus wand, plus book, plus the wand book combo, to me, is one of the more effective weapons to take out the landmillas. Speaking of the landmillas, XRB does pick up a heart in level 1. So currently, at the current moment, oh, it is inverted controls is our red bubble curse today. So currently speaking, we don't have any evidence that Heart Shuffle is on. Because we do not currently have Heart Shuffle on, that we know of, because you've only seen hearts on the floor in 1 and the coast heart. Catastrophe is looking for the second item in here. Is going to not find it up in this portion of the level. Now remember that level 1 in second quest will only have 2 items, those 2 floor items. It is level 4 in second quest that has 3 items, the 2 in stairs and then the 1 on the ground. We know one of the items in level 4 is the candle. And a good key count for both runners coming out of this level. Let's see if XRB decides to stick around. He knows he needs the Triforce out of here. Also remember that Catastrophe did go into level 7 before. I did not throw my right across the room. Has it changed? In any case, XRB has decided to leave level 1 and finds level 8. Now, I can understand why XRB would leave level 1 without the Triforce. For all he knows, it's blocked by some really tough room that he just can't do right now. He may want to come back later and say, okay, I'll come back with more equipment, make it easier, and so on and so forth. And XRB is opting not to do level 8 either. My guess is he's looking for some dungeons that will get him some more equipment, maybe some more hearts, so that he has better longevity in some of these tougher dungeons. He's eyeing that blue ring purchase. He is strongly eyeing that blue ring purchase. Hopefully that helped it a bit. Catastrophe is still looking for the floor item here in level 1. XRB has bought the blue ring. So with that blue ring purchase, we'll see if he decides to go back to levels 8 and 1 here. Now that he has that double defense, he might say, okay, now he is willing to go in. I don't think Cat noticed picking up the heart on the floor. XRB is going to go back to level 8. I hope that XRB did not mark that he has to Triforce out of level 1 and didn't actually grab it. This will be a staircase room. It's a boomerang in level 8. now picked up the blue ring as well. Let's see if XRB decides to do anything with this level 8. As Cat is now on level 8. But yes, I sincerely hope that XRB did not accidentally mark that he got the Triforce out of level 1. Although he may go back after this 8. In about the same room. Kevin's going to go ahead and go to this room to the right here. It will contain nothing. And look at the key difference between the two runners. 8 keys on the side of Catastrophe versus 1 for XRB. I'm guessing a lot of that came from just level 7 and the other dungeons. XRB has taken a guess at the blue landmollas as Catastrophe has found the boomerang and is going to opt not to pick it up. I do apologize for the tech issues going on. We are trying to get those resolved. Compass fine for Catastrophe and for XRB. It looks like he will get his compass and up and out of the room. They are both going different ways in this level 8. An early ladder block will say, nope, go the same way. Southwest, we have witch robes. Because the witch robes are here in level 8, it is very possible that the witch robes will not be in level 9 this time, which would be a sign of relief for the runners. XRB taking another death. You hate to see it. And is Catastrophe just gonna go gung-ho for Triforcing and skip the other item? He might. No, it looks like he is going for the other item a little bit, so... I think Catastrophe will be a little bit more thorough this time around, just from his experience last scene where he gambled super hard on everything and then had to go back. So that may be affecting his gameplay a little bit, where he's looking at... Okay, let's be a little more thorough with the dungeons, let's get at least some items, even though he already has bow and sword. Ladder is definitely required for level 7. We could still need a recorder. We could still need a raft. The Yeti key would certainly be a nice pickup, although for Catastrophe, not as much because he's adding keys. For XRB, it'd be great. XRB has left level 8 and found level 6. Level 6 is going to have 2 transport stairs and 1 item stair. Oh, and gets bopped through the block onto the other side. Catastrophe pulling ahead a good bit early here, picking up both the Triforces out of levels 1 and 8. Both of which were things XRB skips, combined with the candle out of level 4. Ooh, and the early part of 6 is ladder blocked. You may be able to get around by going the long way, but that direct path is ladder blocked by each room. This is a potential stair room in second quest. General rule of thumb is if second quest rooms are on, if a room has a row of blocks along the middle, has blocks along the middle row in the dungeon, the leftmost block will push in most rooms, and it's a wand at level 6. XRB is going to go ahead and opt to pick that up. It will enable the wand sword glitch. And again, the wand book fire combo is very useful for getting out landmos. The wand sword glitch is where if you press the sword and wand button at the same time, what you can end up doing is you can end up bringing both out on the same frame, and the damage of the 2 items will stack. So, for example, because they have magical sword, if they do the wand sword glitch with it, they will do 6 damage in 1 frame. Which, if certain enemies such as the fighters or the Zol kill them with that strategy. That glitch will never be required. And it looks like we do definitely have inverted controls for the my mobile curse. That glitch will never be required to be done in any situation. And it is not taken into account for logic purposes as far as bomb droppers with regards to things like the virus. Currently, we have seen no evidence that Heart Shuffle is on. We see another floor heart in level 6, so we've currently seen 4 hearts in levels 1, 6, and that's it. But, because we've seen 2 floor hearts already, and we've seen the heart on the coast, as long as we do not see a heart anywhere in the stair, or if we see a heart on the ground, Heart Shuffle will be off. At this point, the runners may, with the knowledge the runners have, they may start to feel more confident saying, okay, Heart Shuffle's going to be off, don't need to look for the floor items. Unless it's a case of there's exactly 1 heart that is not shuffled. Maybe 2. That can happen. It can happen where even with Heart Shuffle, like there's a ton of hearts in every no location. This Triforce in 6 is just in the middle of nowhere. XRB gets the compass. Ooh, it is not in the direction that Catastrophe is heading. It is over in the corner. The compass is always a welcome sight. Even if it's a dungeon you've already beaten, knowing which room has the Triforce can tell you which room not to go clear. Granted, there are the very rare cases where you have Triforce in a stair room, but... Oh, and it's ladder blocked! XRB is going to have to come back later. Catastrophe up to 10 keys, 10 rupees, and 10 bombs. There must have been just a plethora of keys in level 7 that I missed because it's... Catastrophe has far more keys than I ever thought you could get with Second Quest Run Half. That is absolutely amazing. He has more keys than bombs. That's very rare. To answer Freedom Fighter 2020's question in chat, yes, there is a chance that Zelda can guard the compass, and there is also a chance that Hint can roll the kidnapped guards the compass. So it is most certainly an option. It would require the following flags to be on. It would definitely require Ganon and Zelda shuffled out of their original rooms because Zelda's room does not have a drop. It would either require Zelda to be in exactly 1 specific room in 9 if Shuffle Dungeon Drops is not on, or if Shuffle Dungeon Drops is on, it would require the compass to have spawned in whatever room Zelda happens to be in, and Zelda would have to spawn in a rough room. Furthermore, it's like the trolliest thing that can ever happen, and I would love to see it. So Catastrophe is going to find a blue bubble here. XRB has only been able to secure the Triforce out of level 4 at this point. Which Catastrophe does currently have that lead from the 2 Triforces and the red candle. XRB still has not seen a candle shop yet. And 11 keys on the side of Catastrophe. 11 keys in a 2Q front 6. I don't think I've... This is a new one for me. I'm just astounded at the key count right now. Like, all the keys in level 7 had to have been early. That's, like, the only way. Look, Gata kind of has the any key already because 11 keys is a lot. Although First Quest 9 has, like, 15 locked doors. So, he's gonna spend a key here. He's not even... I don't think he blinked at spending that key. Just... You have no reason to when you have that many keys. You can spend a couple. South of arrow mark hides a secret. Okay, well, no. That is a hint for that is a hint in vanilla for where level 8 is. Catastrophe is now going to see where the Triforce is, going to go into the room and be ladder blocked. xRB is in the vicinity of a candle shop, and he does have the money to purchase the candle. And Catastrophe now realizes he is ladder blocked. He is going to have to come back later. So level 6 and 7 are both ladder blocked at the moment. Ladder could be in level 4. xRB may spend some time here on Death Mountain looking for stuff. Oh, is he going to buy the arrows? He's going to buy the arrows. This is the one time I will flat out not agree with an arrow purchase. If you don't have candle yet, unless you're just hard banking on red candle to show up soon, you'll want to buy the candle. You want to secure your candle before you buy the arrows. If you secured it, and he's still checking quest spots, I don't think he's realized yet that this is going to be a pure first quest overworld. Catastrophe finds another door repair. Oh, but he does find level 5. He does find level 5 up here on Death Mountain. We have not seen this level yet, so let's see what he can do. Find some money. He will need that. Unless he goes back to 4, gets the candle out of there, looking for other items. He is now in the inverted controls. He has gotten hit by the blue bubble. To answer the question in chat, no, 4 is not candle blocked. Level 4 is located one screen north of Monocle Rock, which is one screen directly southeast of the vanilla level 5 location. xRB will find the first stair in level 5. This is probably a transport. Level 5 normally, I believe, has one bomb wall and one walk-through wall. So more than likely, if you see a wall on level 5, it's going to be solid. The same deal applies to level 7, the second quest. While we won't have to deal with that here, that is something that you might have to keep in mind, is sometimes level 7 second quest can spawn with a single bomb wall, which you will not be expecting. Catastrophe also finding out that the secret is in the tree at the dead end. And xRB does not want to spend his key, although he's going to have to if he wants to continue going in this level. Honestly, I think one of the items that xRB wants to see the most right now is the end key, as that will absolve him of ever needing to go key hunting. He does get a key in this room. xRB trying to do the sword wand glitch. Do bear in mind that that does not work if you are facing up. There's something about the hitboxes where if you are facing up, the wand sword glitch does not work. You only get the damage of one, and I forget which one it is. Only gets some box rings after he gets a Gleok. He is going to opt to go down instead of left. And gets another Gleok for his exploration. And gets his Triforce. There may have been a bit of a Y force, as he might not have intended to pick that up right then. And we are still missing levels 2 and 3 at the moment. We have seen every level besides that. He is going to opt to go back in. I don't blame him at all here. And level 3 has been found by Catastrophe. So, Now the question becomes what may be required. Level 3 is known for multiple things, among them being meat is required, because look at how small and linear it is. And Catastrophe, being key conscious, still opting to cure with the key, but xRB finds the any key in level 5. That is huge for him. And that effectively completely nullifies any advantage that Catastrophe would have had from his impressive key count. Have we seen a candle block dungeon? I'm trying to remember if we've seen a candle block dungeon. I don't think we have. Also, we are not going to be fate blocked in this level 3. I'm trying to remember if any of the dungeons were candle blocked. It's very possible that xRB could just do this scene without a candle. We still have not seen the floor drop item in 3 yet. And look at that, Catastrophe is back up to 11 keys. To answer the question in the chat, yes, the Bonfire can be used to open up the burn spots, but you have to line the enemies up exactly on the burn spot to do it. So we're now just looking for level 2, which we have not yet seen at this point. I believe at this point, no bait block required. And I would hope that xRB decides to go back into levels 1 and 8 to get their Triforces. If level 2 is not candle blocked in any way, shape, or form, then this is a candleless seed, and xRB not getting the candle suddenly becomes a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because that will lead him towards level 2 faster. Although xRB will see his candle shop here, because we're going to see what the item in level 3 is. Assuming Catastrophe can take care of these blue Lionels, which deal 1 heart of damage per attack with that blue ring. It's the recorder in level 3, which is going to open up exactly 1 spot. But if Recorder to Unbeaten Dungeons is on, and at least at the new dungeon locations, Catastrophe will know exactly where all of his levels are. And he's already seen all of them but level 2. xRB has decided to up A. Catastrophe has gotten their Triforce out of level 3. He still needs to go back to 5, and ladder is still required. The ladder being required has not changed up to this point. And that could be in 4. We could be looking at a double dip of 4 here. Yes, Kata did find a heart in level 3, so we still have very good reason to believe that Heart Shuffle is off in the seed. I'm guessing based on xRB's pathing, he's going to go back to these Triforces in levels 1 and 8 now that he has some more equipment to work with. He has the blue ring, he has some health. He still does not have the ladder, but nobody has a ladder yet because that has not been seen up to this point. xRB, I'm pretty sure did not buy the candle based on his money not being high enough to purchase it. If the level 2 is not candle blocked, then xRB does not need a candle at all. Ooh, Catastrophe loses 16. That seals my question is, I want to say we've actually seen all the burn spots, and if we have, then 2 is not candle blocked. In which case, not having the candle is not actually going to hurt xRB so badly. Magical bombs found. Catastrophe cannot pick them up on... Which else? Ooh, it goes to beaten and it goes to vanilla locations. Level 2 is recorder block. Candle is not required. That is good. That is bittersweet news for xRB. Because on the one hand, candle is not required, so we can just kind of go. But on the second hand of that, well, but on the third hand, He is now a bit behind because he has not been to. He still has to get his Triforces out of 8 and 1, which he just got the Triforce out of level 1. But he's going to need the Triforce out of 8, and then he's going to need to find level 3. I would expect Catastrophe will dig this level 2 for the item, as he is still missing Ladder. Cannot go that way in level 8, and oh shoot. So this is very important. Catastrophe now knows where all of his dungeons are. We did not see all of the items in level 8. We only saw one of them. If Ladder is here in level 8, that could be big for XRB too. He might go back to 6 and just get that Triforce. I forget where 6 exactly was. And Ladder is in level 8. A huge break for XRB. Because now that he has that Ladder, he can finish level 6. He can get into level 9. He can do level 7. But there is a slight potential issue he might have if he decides to dig 7 before looking for the other dungeons. I would guess I don't think he will. I think he will get his Triforce out of 6 and then go look for levels 3 and 2, because if your choices are look for 2 really small dungeons or dig 1 really big dungeon, you'll probably look for the small dungeons. But as soon as XRB gets his recorder out of level 3, he is in Schrodinger's go mode at that point, as level 9 is likely to have his silver arrows. Again, it might not even be required. He just needs to find a way to get to these Triforce pieces, and he's good to go. Catastrophe now digging level 2, ultimately for it's probably going to be nothing. I mean, it might be a magic boomerang, it might be a raft. It's a heart on the floor. He has up to 10 hearts, so you could make a play at the magical bombs. Looks like XRB has found his path to the Triforce, and the blueberry banana is in level 2. So this is interesting, because the key factor is effectively now a non-factor, because even though, yes, Catastrophe has a ton of keys, XRB has the A key. Triforce in 2 is ladder blocked. That is actually probably better used than not for Catastrophe. As weird as that sounds, the level 2 Triforce being ladder blocked is probably a good thing for him, because that's going to spur him to go to other dungeons. So now, XRB probably goes to 6. It's just a question of when is he going to get up to Death Mountain to do 3. Because he's already got the Triforce out of 5. He doesn't have to search anywhere else for... Oh, it does take you to Unbeaten. The recorder takes you to Unbeaten dungeons and the new dungeon locations. That's a nice little gotcha from the game. Because we had the Triforce out of 7 and it took you to Vanilla 7, which happened to have a dungeon, the game was tricking you into thinking one way or the other. Now, XRB is, again, he's in good shape. He has a ladder. He's going to go ahead and finish off this level 6. But then he has a decision to make. He has enough money to buy a candle now. Does he buy the candle and check his candle spots for levels 3 and 2? Or does he get the recorder and or does he do Death Mountain? As the bonus 3, gets his recorder out of 3 and checks that. I want to say Catastrophe saw the boomerang in 8, but I don't recall exactly. The item at level 5 is the any key. Catastrophe at 10 keys is going to go ahead and pick it up. XRB making his way to the Triforce at level 6. We're missing a bow and a raft. Remember, we are missing one item out of level 4. And we are missing one item out of level 7. So the bow and the raft are between 4 and 7, with Frederick Silvers in 9. If, now remember, there is a very small chance that both important items in 9 are on, Force Frederick Silvers to 9 is off, and it still didn't roll the 9 items at 9. But the chances of that are very low, to the point where if you're either runner, you're just going to gamble on Red Ring Silvers at 9. There's no reason not to. And XRB does get the bush, but it doesn't burn. He's trying to check his candle spots with the wand fire. He doesn't know it, but he just needs to go to Death Mountain and find that level 3. But until Catastrophe goes back to level 8, there is no way for certain. For right now, XRB has a semi-lead. In that XRB's lead is entirely predicated on the lack of ladder from Catastrophe. Catastrophe will eventually find his ladder. Eventually he will go to the right dungeon to find his ladder. If XRB is able to find level 3 quick enough, then he will have his recorder, he'll be able to go to level 2, but it looks like he wants to check everything else before going up to Death Mountain. Catastrophe is going back to level 4. Catastrophe back in level 4 looking for the ladder. This is going to buy XRB some time. This is going to buy XRB some time, which is good news for him. This really is going to come down to does XRB find ladder before... Ooh, gets the spot for the burn bush with the wand fire. Fortunately, it just leads to money. And more importantly, does XRB decide to commit to Death... Basically, the question is, does XRB decide to commit to Death Mountain once he finds his... Or does he just immediately say, no, I have Candle, I'm going to go do my burn spots first? Or does XRB say, let's get the Death Mountain out of the way, I'm already here, there's no reason to not do it now. Meanwhile, Catastrophe is in 4 looking for this ladder. I believe the only dungeons he has left are 4 and 8. And XRB really wants this burn spot. He really wants to get this burn spot with this wand fire, which he's spending quite a bit of time doing. And he moves off screen. He is now going to up A. That'll put him back towards the northeast, which is good. But he's going to go this direction. Maybe to get the ghost item? He may be looking for a ghost item. He may be just trying to break into as many of these burn spots as he can with wand fire. He does get his coast heart. Catastrophe finds a potential staircase room in level 4. XRB finds a meat shop, or a magic shield shop. He's going to save again. Let's see where he decides to go from here. And Catastrophe finds the raft in level 4. Catastrophe should have knowledge of where all the dungeons are. That also would put the bow in level 7, as Tracker Balletta is putting on screen. Yeah, I think XRB is prioritizing getting open these burn spots with the Wildfire instead of going to Death Mountain. He seems to be actively avoiding Death Mountain. But the Moblins are just not cooperating. Catastrophe is going back to 7. Catastrophe is now back in level 7. Gets the spot for the burn bush, but it does not open. And both runners are in the wrong place, although XRB is moving towards the north. He is going to take an A road. He has headed up to Death Mountain. Now, this will be the crucial decision point. He's going to see this candle shop. He's probably going to buy this candle. Does he continue to dig Death Mountain, or does he immediately leave and go do his burn spots? Looks like he's actually skipping the candle shop. Going towards East Death Mountain. And Catastrophe is now out of level 7. I forget exactly where on this Death Mountain level 3 was, but it wasn't. Here's a candle shop for XRB. He's going to buy his candle. And he's immediately leaving and doing his burn spots. As Catastrophe is going to level 8, that might be what seals the deal here. The thing that makes that play very questionable is you're already on Death Mountain, you already have the bombs to do it. Why not clear Death Mountain while you're up there? That would be the question that I'd ask, is why not clear out Death Mountain while you're up there? Because if you're wrong on this gamble, you just have to go back up there anyway. And Catastrophe is about to have his ladder. This is the room with the ladder. With Catastrophe picking up that ladder, he's going to go right back to 2, right back to 6. He'll be the first one in 9. And the window of opportunity that XRB had is... It's gotten a lot smaller. It's not impossible still, but his window has gotten a lot smaller from choosing to do these burn spots. Which ultimately are going to have nothing in them for him. Heading back up towards Death Mountain, we'll see if he decides to go all the way down Candle Row and do all of Deadwoods. Or if he's going to go ahead and do Death Mountain while he's up here. This would be one of the better times for him to route it in. He is going to take the money. And he is going to go do the rest of the burn spots. XRB is determined not to do Death Mountain until he has to. And XRB's Catastrophe's got the Triforce out of 6. Now again, level 9 can do some crazy stuff. It's known as the Great Equalizer for a reason. If XRB routes 9 better than Catastrophe does, he can very much still win this. This is not over by any means. But the fact is going to remain that XRB will have a significant deficit going into 9 just from how long it's going to take for him to get back up to Death Mountain after doing all these burn spots to find level 3 to get the recorder. And that's if he doesn't go to 7 looking for recorder. He does still have that option of level 7 available. That's probably one of the scariest parts is he could very easily just go to 7 and look for recorder in there. If he thinks he's recorder blocked. He's going to buy a potion. Not a bad play at all. Normally, statistically, it makes sense to do Death Mountain last and do the candle spots first. However, I would make the argument that in this particular scene, Death Mountain's actually more condensed than doing all these burn spots is. This scene particularly, again, most seeds, the right play is to go do the burn spots. Most seeds, the right play is to do the burn spots, but in this particular instance, the candle's not required, and I wonder if the ladder was required in level 2. What do you guys think? Was the ladder required in level 2? Alright, enough about the decision-making that's been made by the runners. The runners have made their decisions. Catastrophe is on his way to level 9. So he is now looking for the path to Zelda. So he's going to go to level 9, he's going to be looking for the path to Zelda, and potentially Ganon if Ganon is required, as well as the silver arrows. This could very easily be a 2-room 9. This has all of the potential in the world to be a 2-room 9. It is not. But Catastrophe once again going to apply the go up strats in an effort to, if Zelda's in her normal room, that's the only way you can get into her is by going up, so it makes sense. And finds the old men right off the bat that don't give him any sort of help. XRB is now back on Death Mountain. He will now find his level 3. We'll see if he digs it. Looks like XRB is going to opt to do the upper portion of Death Mountain first, which would put level 3 at the last possible screen he checks. Catastrophe probably going to poke his head into every stair he sees. Ooh, there was a wallmaster in that room. I wonder if he saw that. I wonder if Catastrophe saw that there was a wallmaster in that room. Well, he's aware of it now. But it's just a fiber, nothing doing there. XRB finds one of the last door repairs. Actually, that might be the last door repair of the seed, because the only 2 spots we have not seen at this point are the raft spots. Nothing at the power bracelet. Here is level 3 for XRB. Let's see if he decides to take the item out of here, or if he just gets the Triforce and leaves. Although I think at this point he knows he's blocked by something, so he's got to take it. Cat is going to find the not red ring, not silver arrows, just another one of the 6 transports in level 9. Cat could be done at any moment now. If Yan is not required, Zelda will be able to just be walked into like it's nothing. He's probably also looking for the single shutter door so that he can tell if Zelda will be in the room adjacent. Here's the stair. Gonna opt not to poke his head into the stair. Okay, now he is. Probably gonna... Well, he was potentially bomb or ladder block. Not ladder, bomb block, so... XRB trying to get this room down, but the Dodongos are eating his bombs. He does get the stun on that one, so he will get some bombs back. Do note that if you get hit by the Dodongo as it does, because he just up 8 out, seeing the not needed meat block. I don't recall seeing him pick up a Triforce. He might be thinking he has to bomb behind that meat room, even though there's no room on the map there in level 3. Catastrophe now in the eye of the skull. Still have not heard Ganon as far as I know. Again, I do have the stream muted. We have also not seen any evidence of Zelda, nor have we seen a compass. Yeah, XRB just walked past the Triforce in level 3. I'm not... He might have meant to continue and just accidentally hit select and went to save. That's very possible. It's something that everybody does. Usually when you're trying to save and you end up retrying. That's generally when that shows up. But he might have accidentally just hit save when he meant to hit continue. All right, back into level 3 he goes. He's going to clear this room out again. No stair in there. Oh, unless he might be thinking it's a stair item and not a floor item in 3. Oh, I think that's what's going on. It looks like he's thinking it's a stair item. Now, I don't know that for certain, but we have a compass on Catastrophe side for where Zelda is. He is now trying to make a path over to Zelda to see if Ganon's required or not. But level 9 being level 9 and not cooperating. More ladders! More Lionels! Lionels are great! He does find a bomb hole into the other eye of the skull. But can he get over to that column to the east? He can. Catastrophe might have a path to Zelda here. He can go north. And Zelda is open. Ganon is not required in this second seed. Everybody get your GGs out in chat for Catastrophe finishing with an official time of 1:13:05. XRB has picked up his recorder. And XRB has opted to forfeit out of the race, seeing that recorder. So it looks like we will be getting Catastrophe. We will not be getting XRB in the interview room. Also, the recorder tune this time was Spanish Fleet. Sounds like we do have Catastrophe here in the room with us. GG's on both races, sir.
Thank you. Whew. I was super nervous after the first one, and still a little shaky, like, knees bouncing up and down, just going into the second one. Wow. So can you imagine if Ganon was required on that second one? Because Bo was blocked in 7. And I did all of that digging in 9 and didn't find the silvers. Could have been an hour and a half if I had to go get the bow and silver. But yeah, no, I didn't have to. Woo! Yeah.
So in both races, a very similar thing happened in that XRB was missing 1 dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first race, he hadn't found 6 until very late. And then the second one, he hadn't found 3 until you were already in 9 looking around.
Oh, so I guess he didn't get the recorder to Unbeaten Dungeons like I did.
He picked up the recorder right around when you finished.
Oh, okay. Wow. So, that was a big help for me. Probably saved me exploring all of Death Mountain. I liked it. Let me check my tracker here.
See, we thought it was going to be...
I feel like I full cleared the whole thing. You thought it was going to be...
We thought it was going to be recorded to Beaten Dungeons because it took you to Vanilla 7, and you had the Triforce out of 7.
Right? I thought the same thing, too. I'm like, I got a Vanilla location. Well, let me just check. Maybe jackpot. Yeah. And then, no, just kidding. It was ladder blocked. Go home. Oh, man. So after I dug all the Triforces except 2 and 6, right? And I'm ladder blocked out of the Triforce in 2 and 6, but I know exactly where it is.
And then you went to 4.
Yeah, I went to 4, and I dug the second item out of 4. That wasn't it. And then I went to 7, and I forgot to mark that as bow blocked, or ladder blocked. And then I'm like, well, that means it has to be an 8. And sure enough, it was just right there in 8. I didn't stick around to dig the second item in 8 on my first dig. At the time, I'd found 8. It was relatively early in the seed. I didn't think, what are the odds that my required item is going to be buried in 8? So I chose to leave it behind and ended up paying for it. But I guess I was still ahead by enough. So how about that first seed, right? So I'm going through 9, and I find out Ganon's required. I'm like, all right, that happens half the time with these seeds. No big deal. I don't have a bow, and I don't have a step ladder. I really only care about finding the bow, because I got the silvers. I know where Ganon is. And I know where Zelda is. The reason I knew where Ganon was because there was only one spot on my map where I hadn't been adjacent to, and I had heard Ganon, and I was listening for Ganon's roar. And sure enough, Ganon was in the one spot where his roar would have revealed him, but I hadn't heard it yet. And it was masked by a Pactra, but I thought to check, and yeah, he was there. So I knew where Ganon was, knew where Zelda was, had the silvers. Where's that ladder and bow, right? So I save and quit, and they're both right there in 1. I find them right away. That was outstanding. I'm like, oh, well, bow and ladder were in 1. I'm glad I didn't spend more than 5 minutes on that. But then I ran back in the 9 as fast as I could, panicked, because I just assumed XRB had those.
He did, but he had trouble finding level 6, and that ended up being the difference maker in Seed 1.
Wow. So it was that close, huh? I did lose time leaving those items in 1? Yeah. Ooh.
Ultimately, yes.
My strategy was, I consider XRB to to be a better player. So my strategy was grab the Triforces, run, get lucky. So, me leaving the bow and stepladder in 1 and the stepladder in 8 was kind of according to plan. So was having 10 small keys when I picked up the any key. That's always according to plan. That's how you know you're about to find it.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen anybody have a key count above 6 when you have second quest 1 through 6 and first quest 7 through 9.
Right? Yeah. How did I have that many keys? Well, I was being really stingy with them, only using them when I really, really had to. But yeah, that was a high key count for that scene. I mean, I also kind of cleared every single room. Maybe something I could improve on is doing less of that. Especially because I think a couple dungeons in, I was pretty sure, but not 100% sure, that dungeon hearts weren't shuffled. So clearing every single room wasn't as necessary. That probably gave me too many keys if there's ever such a thing.
The other thing that kind of helped you was that because XRB didn't have the candle until like an hour in the second, he did spend a good bit of time looking for, or rather trying to line up enemies to do the book wand fire combo to open up burn spots.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah. That's always cool when that works out. It didn't work for him, though. He was trying to do it too many times, too many places.
Ultimately, I think so. You will move on in the bonus bracket to face the loser of Captain Fury 7.
Oh, wait, Captain Fury 7? You mean Captain Green 7 and Fury SK? Oh, yes. My God. Lifetime, I am like 0 and everything, 0 and 10 against both of them combined. Captain Green and I have played in a number of battle royales together, and I've never won. And Fury SK and I have only, I don't know, actually, I don't even know if we've ever met. But if we have, I definitely haven't won. Maybe in fall tournament, the qualifiers we did back then. Oh, man. So Fury SK won the big fall tournament last time, and Captain Green, I don't know, he's just such an established player. Gosh. Oh, boy. Well, I'll do my best. Wow. I'll be sure to watch that match, too. That's going to be a good match. A lot of good players signed up for this tournament, and
absolutely.
I'm pretty happy. Yeah. Well.
So let's take a look at the schedule here, because we have a bunch of races going on.
Oh yes.
Let's see. We have currently ongoing. There's Duke Firebird and J Smash Game 1. That should still be going. That might be wrapping up. Black Attack and Crimson Apex, their Game 2 was scheduled for 9. I'm not sure what the status of that because of if they finished Game 1 quickly, if Game 1 took a while, so on and so forth. There's Ice Blue and HN. Oh, I should mention Duke Firebird and J Smash is on Randomania 4. Black Attack and Crim is on Speed Gaming 2. Ice Blue and HN is on Randomania 3. Redbird and Zidetown is set to start up. Actually, it looks like it should have started about 10 minutes ago, so that may be ongoing until Crimson Apex game has finished. There's also Sassage Link and Chrono JJ on Speed Gaming 3. And the Ice Blue HN game was a doubleheader on Randomania 3, so that game 2 might have started. And furthermore, the Duke Firebird J Smash was also a doubleheader, and that second game may be going on right now. There's a lot out there.
15 total games all tonight.
Yeah. Yes. We don't know what the magical thing about today was, but something was magical about today to make everybody want to schedule today.
Right? Yeah.
So we are going to send you over to... Alright, so it looks like we are going to... give you this one. And if you do have any final words, now might be a good time for them.
Oh, no. My final words are that I think my next round match will be my actual final words. Yeah, Captain Green and Fury. Oh boy. Well, it'll be an honor either way. You know, both players are so good. You know, it'll be fun.